This is a video I'm going to make to document what I've built and accomplished on the DVGaming.com whitelist server. As some people might know, a whitelist is an invitation-only server. I've been playing on the DVGaming.com server and had made friends with the administrators there, and they had invited me and one of my friends to go onto their whitelist server and play. And the advantages of a whitelist server is that there's usually no griefing at all because everyone knows everyone and no people are able to get onto the server and just cause havoc. So this is what I have been able to accomplish on this one. I came into the game at the spawn point, and me and my friend decided to go 500 blocks away from spawn to set up camp. This little, what one person referred to as my shack, is my original place, which I've increased its size about 2 or 3 times. When I originally built this thing, it was right at nighttime, and I made it just large enough to put a bed in here so that nothing would get us. On the other server, the DVGaming.com server, things such as creepers and gas, when they shoot at you, the stuff around you does not blow up. In other words, a creeper could come up to this front door if I were standing there, and it would blow up and it would cause me harm, take away some of my hearts, but it would not blow up the door and the walls and things like that. On this server, the whitelist server, it does happen. So if you happen to have a creeper sneak up on you, it'll blow up the ground around you and destroy your home and so on and so forth. I'm going to make it daytime here quickly. Anyway, when we came in, I made this first original little home, and all it was probably half this size, and I've increased it in size and height and whatnot over time. And this is the area that I started with. Now, I decided to expand, and I've taken some stuff down before I did this video. I haven't taken it completely up. Right here was a row of pumpkins, and right here was a row of watermelons. I had 2 rows. This right here was potatoes, carrots here, and 1 row of wheat. And that's really and truly all you needed. As you see, I've increased my garden by a huge amount. And the administrator asked me, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Well, it looks pretty." Really and truly, I lived on these 2 rows of potatoes. The carrots I had to breed bunnies, and also you need golden carrots for some of the potions that you made. And the wheat down here, you needed it, the seed, to breed chickens, and the wheat to breed things like sheep and cows. And of course you need the cows, breed those to get leather, to make books, to make a enchantment room. There's my cows down there. Sheep up here, which I've changed the color numerous times to get different colors of wool. Up here on this side, I have the birch trees set up with the jack-o'-lanterns on each side to help identify where they need to be replanted, and also to keep things from spawning up there. And I put my chickens under here to run around just because it was something easy to do at the time when I wanted to start raising chickens. Now this side over here, which I've already cleaned out, is where I had a tree farm identical to this, but with oak. And I've already taken them down, and you see my oak trees over there now. I've moved all of my tree farm over. And this over here is my Overworld Pikmin XP Gold Farm. And that right there, the obsidian was over 1,600 blocks of obsidian needed for that. So of course that took a long time to get that done. So anyway, to begin with, this small area right here was my garden. Started with a tree farm there and here for oak. Eventually got chickens. Eventually got sheep, and then cows down at the bottom. The bunnies were the last thing that I managed to get a hold to. After I had done the gold farm over there, the next thing that I did was I did the iron farm. Now, at the particular time that I did this iron farm, and you need villagers to put up into the cage up there to get the iron golems to spawn. And I did not have, there's not a village anywhere nearby, at least none that I found. So if you've watched my other videos that I have on here, I made something which I call my killing tower, and it was right, it came off level. The second level was right here, so I could walk across a little bridge to get onto it, go down one level, and that was the ground, and then go up one level. It was 3 stories, just like my other killing towers. And what I did is on the outside of the fence, I dug a 2 block deep hole, and I would lure zombie villagers over, and they would fall into those holes, and I dug down underneath the ground to where I could see the bottom block and drop them down and put them into a fenced-in area and throw potions at them to change them back into villagers. And then I used a minecart system to run it up the side and drop them into the top up there. Cynical Death, which is one of the players in the game, helped me with that. We would run around at night and lure them back in and drop them in to those holes, change them, and then put them into mine carts and run them up. And it only took us 2 or 3 nights of this game to get 10 villagers up there, which is what you need to produce 1 golem. And once you've got the 10 in there, it works really well. Let's see if I do this again. I've already gone over here and emptied this thing out one time. 10 64s, and now I've got 9, 10, 11 64s already built back up in there. So with just 10 villagers, it's producing really well. So anyway, I've really increased the size of my garden, what you see here. 220 rows of watermelon, same with pumpkins, and then from here on back are potatoes up to this point, and from this point to here is wheat. That's eight rows with 40 plants in each one. Up here, excuse me. 2 40 rows of carrots, 2 40 rows of sugarcane, and then some cactus down here, which you use for getting the green dye for making green wood. And then I have spruce trees, dark oak, birch, and a bunch of oak. I use oak more than anything. This is where the original cactus used to be, and this strip over here is where the original sugarcane used to be. And as you see, I built another house over there just to be doing something. And what I'm doing here is, the reason I'm moving all of this stuff is I've decided to build a larger house here, get rid of my, again, as Cynical Death called it, my shack. So one of the things that I did, again, is setting up house is I burrow down and start me a supply room. And this is my supply room. As you see, I've got things labeled. Cobblestone, dirt, sand, sandstone, the different types of blocks, gravel, flint, iron, coal, clays, glowstone, netherrax, redstone, the blue stone, and wood products, and just different things. Down here, the tools and weapons and armor. And these shelves over here are where I put a lot of potions. Now, I tried to do most of this stuff on my own, like going down and mining, and this is how you normally get to the iron farm. As you notice, I had to put something down to get up to it before, but this is how I normally get up here. I don't remember whose design it is, but it works really well. In fact, my son made one exactly like it on his PlayStation. And then this leads over to try to make tunnels underground to get just about anywhere. Don't have to worry about anything getting you day or night. I was going to kind of move everything over here and put everything over here. I started an inventory there, as you see. This is to fish from. And I can jump off here if I need to and go over there to that side. And that's where I had my dark oak and my spruce trees planted in that area, which I've already moved to down there. And shut the door. This is going up to the main floor with the balcony here. And I like that yellow stained glass because if you look at it, it looks like there's lights on the inside. I got all the torches here to keep anything from spawning. And I put glowstone up here to help keep anything from spawning. Got a bed up here for when I was working on it. So this is this wood house. Back to the other side. And while I was digging this tunnel, I found another cave. And I've left a way to get into the cave. I have not explored that yet. Got a lot of things going on. So I come back up. And one of the first things I do once I get settled in and find some food and whatnot, and I did cheat a little bit when I came into the world. At spawn, they had put a whole bunch of things like seeds for watermelons and pumpkins and potatoes and carrots and things like that. Now, the only thing I grabbed was potatoes, because I knew I was going to want potatoes. I'll come down to bedrock, and this is how I start my mine. I go 2 back, and go 2, and go 50 back on each side, and skip 2. Same thing, 50-50. And the reason I do it like that is that when you come down this way, you see this block here. And when you go down this one, you see this block here. So there's nothing in between that you're not seeing. And then once I've done that, I usually go back 6. And then once I've done all of that, then I go back 6 more and can do both sides. But I have found that at level 10 is where you find the most diamonds, and I was in need of diamonds so that I could get my diamond picks to start that gold farm. That was one of the first things I wanted to do. Now this is just something, kind of an experiment that I did. And I made this huge room, and as you see, things spawn in here. And that was an easy way, before I had my gold farm and all, to get XP and to gather all kinds of things like spider webs and bows and things like that. And slimes, they will form in here from time to time. And I use a looting 3 to kill them, and even endermans. So, and I've killed a few endermans, so I've got a few enderman pearls, but look how much slime balls I've collected from that room just by building that room. And spider eyes and gunpowder and rotten flesh and bows, or bone and bows and arrows. All of this stuff I collected, you know, from just running around that room and killing stuff. Because at the time I did not have any spawners anywhere near me that I knew about. So that was an easy way to get that kind of stuff. And I collect all of my different things to sort through and whatnot down here. But again, I come up to level, this is level 10, and I did this one a little differently. I made my long hallway first, and this hallway is actually 500 blocks long. But I'm doing the same thing, 50-50, 50-50, 50-50, and eventually I'll just keep on going and keep on going. And this row right here is 2 blocks up from the one down there. So again, see, it's 2 blocks. So if you're standing here, you see the bottom one. And if you're standing up here, you see the top one. So there's no missing anything in between. Again, everything is seen. You see this row from this hallway or branch, and this block from this branch. So there's nothing in between. Say if that was 3 blocks, there could be a diamond down here that you would miss, and more diamond below it, but you would never see it. And that's why I do it the way I do it. So anyway, I was working. And this area way down here, which I partially filled some of it back in, this area here was lava. All of that was lava. And that's where I got all my obsidian to make the pigman golden farm. And the reason I had these torches here is when I eventually got to this area, as I was digging, or actually it was on this next one over here, on this one right here, when I got down here at the very end, there was a cave off to the right. And that cave circled up and around and went over my head here. And I saw a bunch of, I found an abandoned mine. So I said, well, I don't want to have to circle around to get up there. So I went down to this far end of this one and dug up and saw mossy stone. And everybody that plays Minecraft knows that when you see mossy stone, that is where a spawner is. So I got up in there and put torches all over the place, and it was a skeleton spawner. And one of the first things I did was set up a XP farm that this is it right here. And they spawn. Let's see if they'll drop some. Come on, guys. There they go. See? They spawn. The water flushes them into that doorway right there. And this one uses an water elevator system, which takes it up about 21 blocks. They come around. They will eventually fall. And here, you go in there, again, using a looting 3 sword, and kill them. And you get their XP and things like bows and bones and arrows and all kind of stuff. And that's the enchanted bows, regular bows, a bunch of arrows so far, some armor. The only kind of armor I keep is anything that's enchanted, and then bones over here. So anyway, there's one that fell. The rest of them will keep coming. And so I knew that where this was right on the edge of an abandoned mine. So I made this to get around the skeleton spawner to be able to get to the mine, which the mine is on back here. Actually, it's over there to the right too, but see down that way, there's more of the mine. But anyway, when I came back this way, I found a spider spawner. Actually, I found 2 of them. There was one back over in that area over there, which I killed that one. It was big, like straight back, and it was like maybe 10 blocks to the right. And I kept the one that is right ahead of me, and I made another one of these XP farms. And this one, they, instead of being led straight to a elevator and going up and dropping down, they just come straight in. Just probably that little tunnel right there is probably 7 blocks long. Water flushes them in so far, and then as they multiply, they shove one another in. And then you just stand over here with your looting 3. The stuff, I grab the XP, and the stuff goes through the hoppers there into the chest. I kind of designed that one myself, and then, believe it or not, I got out here and I started exploring the mine. I've got those blocked off. I have not been in that direction. I use red torches as my beacons to get me back to where I've gone. And got to this big room here, and when I started going down that hallway right there, it was just one zombie after another. And I just could not, I mean, they killed me one time. I got around the corner and they just all ganged up on me, and next thing I knew, I was dead. And luckily enough, I managed to get back and collect all my stuff. And one of the zombies, the only thing I was missing is the sword that I'm holding right now, and my boots, which were enchanted boots. These boots right here, which, look at that. Death Strider 3 and Breaking 3 Protection 4. And a zombie came and was carrying my sword and wearing my boots, and when I killed him, I picked the stuff back up. So even though they killed me, I didn't lose anything. Now you might wonder why I've got this set up like this. What I'm doing is, as the zombies come out, I will kill them and get rid of them. I'm not interested in really anything that they've got, or the XP or anything. what I'm waiting for is a village, a zombie villager, and I will cure, once they're here in this section, once I see one come through, see, I can shut this gate and then put a fence down to bottleneck them in one place and throw a potion at them to cure them, and then I'm going to set up a rail cart to get them from down here, and I'm going to make a village and populate a village using this zombie spawner. So I'm very fortunate with this world that I have found a zombie spawner to make me a village. I have found a spider spawner where I can get web. I don't really need the web anymore, because really you only use the webs for bows, and well, you can use them to make leashes or leads, whatever they're called. Mostly use them to make bows, but I've got the skeleton thing to get all the bows I need. Because you can take these bows and put them together and come up with a real good bow, like the one I'm carrying now, Power 4, Unbreaking 3, Infamy 1, and Flame 1. So anyway, I am set up here with a skeleton spawner, a spider spawner, and a zombie spawner. Got a great mine going here. Like I say, I have done the 3x3, which is what this area is, all the way down to 500 blocks. Every 100 blocks, I put up a sign right there, and then go another 100 blocks, another sign, 200 and so on, right on down to 500. So in the outer world, I've accomplished pretty much anything that I wanted to accomplish on my own. Like I said, I think I got the potatoes and the carrots from spawn to plant my garden originally, but since then, many times over, I have killed zombies and picked those up myself. So the only thing is that I got them a little earlier by picking those things up at spawn. And this was just a way to get up. This is where I originally dug down to make the mine, because over in that area over there is another abandoned mine, and the person that we play together a lot claimed that mine because they said I saw it first. So I said, that's fine. So I found, but the thing about it, there was nothing in it. It's like someone had been through it already. I think when we got here, some of the administrators came over and kind of went through it and collected most of the stuff out of it. And the only thing that was found in there was one spider spawner. And the one that I've got, I managed to find all 3 types of spawners and got everything squared away. Now the other thing that I kind of got ahead of myself was I went and got some blaze rods from one of the administrators so I could make me a brewing stand a little earlier. This is my enchantment room, and I've got it enchanted up to 30. 30 when you put stuff in there. So, that in every world that I've played in, one of the things that I've failed miserably at is finding a nether fortress. And this, again, is one of the things that you've got to have this nether wart to do the brewing. And I got 1 piece of nether wart from spawn, and got the soul sand. The person that I partner with brought me some soul sand because they were spending more time in the nether than I was. And I said, would you please bring me some back? Because we share when we can. So anyway, this is the portal that I made to get into the nether. And this is how we get to Method Z's tunnels. Somebody's been digging the air. Oh, that's ice. I don't want to go in there. Might slip off and fall into something. Anyway, this is their tunnels, and it leads back. This is to their town, where they're building a town. And you go down this way to go to their original spawn point. So I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to have to ask them about this little side tunnel here with the ice. So anyway, this is where, so anyway, I was speaking about the fortress. Well, one of the things I did, as you saw, I made that big room where things like spiders and zombies and skeletors and slimes and whatnot spawn. I said, well, I'm going to try the same thing in the nether. So I came down here and went to, this is not bedrock, but it's like, I think 10 blocks up. That's where I started. And I said, let me get far away from everything. And I was hoping that gas would form. Now, the only thing you need for gas is you get gas tears. But really and truly they're not needed anymore, because whatever potions that you would use a gas tears for, you can make with other stuff. But I just wanted to, again, see if I could do it. So this is where it starts right here. I made this big room, and nothing forms in here. This huge room, it took me forever to build, and then line with cobblestone, because cobblestone is impervious to the gas blasting them. But the reason I showed you this is that when I was digging this, and clearing this out, I saw that. And if you see that, that is nether brick. And nether brick is what nether fortresses are made of. And I tried digging up in this area, but if you see right there, there's lava dropping. And I tried and I tried back there in this corner, way down here in this corner, digging up to try to get up there to that nether fortress, and every time I would run into lava. So I said the only way for me to get to it is to go overland. And up there where that nether brick is about 19 or 20. So I said, well, let me go to about 30, 35, because the nether fortresses are usually, you know, pretty high, standing on their tall legs and whatnot. So I said, let me do that. So I went back to this set of ladders that I made to get down here. And I had previously made this thing right here to get out and explore. As you see, that's made steps here, and because the person that we play together is making a huge house that needed tons and tons and tons of the quartz here, building the house out of this quartz. So I was helping this person find quartz. But anyway, I got the XYZ from underneath those nether brick that I saw, and I just headed out building this bridge, one of my standby walkways that I make. You're in here, nothing you can still see around, but a gaff could be. You see the gaff right there? He's not going to mess with you because the bars keep them from messing with you. Now, if that bar wasn't there, he would see us and start shooting at us. It wouldn't blow up this cobblestone, but it would blow you up. But anyway, this thing led to here, and I found it. And then I just started chipping away and made steps all the way up. And this is my first fortress. And again, I had said that I got nether brick, not nether brick, but nether wart. And again, I found it on my own, so the only thing that I did was get it just a little sooner than I normally would. And there are, damn, I hate these button things. I've killed some of the dark skeletors, what do you call them, nether skeletors, whatever they are, and the blazes. So I've gotten whatever blaze rods that I've used beforehand. I don't feel bad because I'm getting them on my own now. So I have not found the blaze spawner yet, but because I've got so many other things going on. But I'm setting up a little camp here and got stuff sorted out. Potions and things. Like I said, I've already found 2 nether, or the, what are those dark skeletons called? Whatever they're called. I've gotten 2 of their skulls already. You need 3 to make the boss one. But the main thing is I want to find the blaze spawner and get that set up as an XP farm type thing. Not an XP farm, but just a farm. So anyway, I've managed to accomplish pretty much everything I want to do in here. I found me a fortress where I will be able to set up a blaze farm. I've got a zombie farm that I can use to populate a village eventually. I've got the skeleton farm and the spider farm and let's go back up, iron farm and a gold XP farm and a real farm with all my other stuff and a tree farm going. I've pretty much accomplished anything and everything that you can do with this thing. The only other thing that I have not accomplished is finding an underwater fortress on my own. I have been to Method Z's to get some of his. Now I found glowstone on my own, so I've got glowstone, but I like the way the you see the sea lanterns over there. If you put them on top of your oak trees 9 blocks up, it keeps them from becoming that super huge oak tree that you got to climb up into and kill all the leaves and keep cutting away at the wood to finally get it all chopped down. That's the tree that my partner over there in crimes is building. She finally got the exterior of that thing done. And it is just massively huge. I mean, it's impressive, all right. But this area right here, where my garden is here, probably from fence to fence, I'm going to build me a bigger house in here. And I'm going to take all of this area back here and over here and either build up or tear down to where it's all level and then get my animals repinned and shuffled around. So anyway, I just wanted to take a quick inventory and a quick look around and explain what I've done and what I've accomplished on this DVGaming Whitelist server, because we're understanding that eventually when the 1.9 comes out, that everything will be reset, so all of this stuff will be gone, and I just kind of wanted to document it. I think that I've covered everything that I needed to cover. I've showed you the garden, huge garden out there, and my tree farm. Look at that, there's a skeletor out there. I'm going to light all that up eventually. Torches on the fences around and jack-o'-lanterns. See, I'll put jack-o'-lanterns up here. I'm going to do the same thing down there. And probably do the little street lamp type things part way down to help keep down on the critters out there. Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this. I've noticed that some people are watching these videos. I hope that there's some information that I've passed along that's helped. One thing I meant to mention, the big room that I've got downstairs at the bottom of my mine, where the skeletors and everything spawns and the slimes, I had done that down to bedrock, where you could actually see some of the bedrock. And I was told that nothing will spawn on bedrock. So to put one layer of stone covering the entire area, and to make it even better, I added 2 layers. So there's 2 layers of stone on top of bedrock to help the critters spawn, and I also had to, of course, when I added 2 layers at the bottom, I took 2 more layers at the top. The room is actually 10 blocks high. It's 30 by 30 by 10 if anyone wants to build that thing. And I've made the openings to shoot through and the doors and all to get through to collect everything. So anyway, this was just a short tutorial, walkthrough, whatever you want to call it, for this server. I'll probably do another one after I get through changing everything up. I hope you enjoyed it. Everybody stay cool. Bye-bye.